What's good with it, y'all? It's Coffee. Tapping back in, man. And 50 Cent really has done been the king of this beef-ish. We all know Piggy Bank, all the, that was on the Massacre, the previous album, Get Rich or Die Trying, beefing with Murder Inc. and all that. And even prior to that, dating back to How to Rob the Industry, from collaborating with the Mad Rapper on the Into Deep soundtrack and all the mixtapes back then. You know what I'm saying? When Fifth had a whole different voice, for those that weren't around back then, or, weren't following the music and Fifth's career to that extent. Fifth had a whole nother deal, got dropped. He had a tough time into the game before getting signed by M to Shady, Aftermath, Interscope, getting his own G-Unit imprint. You know what I'm saying? Prior to even getting shot, where he had a whole different voice and everything. Ghetto Quran, like Fifth's been in the game for a minute, and he's thrived off controversy in many ways, man. And it's so wild, with all that being said, that here in 2025, Fifth still added, even though he ain't a full-time rapper no more, he moved on to other things with all the TV series, shows, movies, etc. But you'll see it on the gram all the time. He just knows how to delve into the beef, roast motherfuckers, crack jokes, promote what he's got going on at the same time, and keep the money and the investments moving in a righteous way. And as of late, we saw a big time op with Irv Gotti, obviously affiliated with Ja Rule, Murder Inc. They had their run that got ended, and they had a good run, a lot of hits, a lot of bangers. I always put that out there every time Ja Murder Inc. comes up, man. Like, you can't forget that they had some serious bangers. They had a run. They had a lot of number ones, man. But when Fifth got on, it was over. It was a wrap. Ja got bodied in such a way he still can't deal with it to this day. And a lot of people talk about this Fifth, like you see on one of these comment threads, they're talking about the Fifth Ja G-Unit Murder Inc. beef is going to start collecting a pension, and how there's been jokes like Fifth and Ja Rule will be in nursing homes still beefing with each other. You know what I'm saying? That beef and the Rick Ross beef, I don't think will ever come to an end. Like, we saw him make up with Fat Joe. We saw him temporarily make up with the Game. That didn't last, because the Game wanted to get back to dissing and all that, and more or less mimicking what 50 Cent did. Never forget,
when I first heard about Game, they told me he was Eazy-E's son. That was the rumor. He from the East Coast. Yeah. This blood on the West Coast name's Game, because he had the tattoo Eazy-E on and all that. I'm like, find him. Find him. Find the blood. He blood. Find the blood. Blood it out. Just got on the phone, bring him to New York, take him to the studios. Wells was there. Everybody was up in the airport. Him and Fort Bend. God bless. Rest in peace, Fort Bend. And we just went ham. So he had already had his deal, but they didn't know they wasn't sure what to do with him at Interscope, and that's why they signed him to G-Unit. They was up in the airport. Him and Fort Bend. God bless. Rest in peace, Fort Bend. And we just went ham. So he had already had his deal, but they didn't know they wasn't sure what to do with him at Interscope, and that's why they signed him to G-Unit. They gave him some validation and some, you know what I mean? I remember the whole shit. That was in the W, the whole shit. He was telling me, yo, they about to sign me to G-Unit. He did, but as soon as they sign me and I get platinum and all that, I'm doing 50 did the job and all this type of shit. I'm like, you sure you want to do that? He's like, fuck that, blood. I like, this nigga is crazy. Blood. I like, this nigga is crazy. And now I'm looking back on it's just a part of history to be like, I heard him say it before he even initiated the wild shit. I remember when he took the watch from Jacob, like, I just stepped out of Jacob.
Jim Jones put it out there, the whole play, that the Game planned on that off top when he got, he was sitting idle on Aftermath, gonna get dropped. They decided, Jimmy Iovine and the execs got with Dre and said, yo, let's put Game as the fifth element with G-Unit, a West Coast piece to the puzzle, and that will be a way to market him. And 50 Cent gave him all them hits for the documentary. Game was like, I'm gonna do like Fifth and start dissing the unit and everything, you know, like I'm gonna use his own blueprint against him. And it worked for him back then in a sense, even though he got booted from the label and placed on Geffen. But it got to looking corny where for years he would diss. Oh, let's make up. I want peace with the unit. Diss. Yo, let's get back cool. Name dropping everyone. And ultimately, even after Fifth let us know when Banks and the Game ran into each other in Dubai and took the most awkward photo ever. You know, that Whack 100 claims he put the whole play together and all that. Banks didn't want to be in that picture, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, Fifth shared that it wasn't just about the beef that went on between them. The whole thing with Jimmy Henchman managing the Game and G-Unit affiliate Lodi Mack losing his life behind that beef was why it was like something he couldn't really let slide. But even with all that, he ended up squashing the issue with the Game as they bumped into each other in some strip club or something like that, 2015, 16, somewhere in that time frame, only for the Game to turn around when Drillmatic was going to drop a couple years later and get to dissing all over again on some real goofy McTrooperson clown-ish. But just like we were talking about Ja, that being a beef that will never die down, will never end. We saw with Irv Gotti passing away the other day, Fifth taking a shot at him in a slick way, dissing him, smoking in that Irv pack while saying R.I.P. Irv Gotti at the same damn time. You see, this beef will never end. We also saw a new beef jump off that confused a lot of people, myself included, and that was Fifth dissing Big Meech, hinting at, like, first promoting that season 4, the final season of the BMF series, was on its way, but then at the same time putting it out there that Meech was a rat, Meech was a snitch, and he didn't keep it real with Tammy, and you know, her tell-all doc was gonna be coming soon, and everyone was just kind of like, damn, what's really good, what's going on with all this? Well, pathetic flock hoe, the fat goof clown lame that he is, did a pretty good job highlighting all that, digging in deep and finding out where all the beef came from, even though he won't touch one bit pause on the academics situation with all the weirdo ish that's on. So we got to point that out, you know what I mean? Like I did in another video, Flacco was down to try to cover up the Lil Boom / Lil Groom ish, even after he had been exposed to the fullest extent that could be, even with the footage out there of him violating kids. Flacco still wanted to cover it up with this weirdo ish that Acton did. Flacco won't report on that at all, but he did do a good job, you know, reporting on the Meech 50 situation. And it's a kind of a wild one, you know. You know what I mean? Could it really be, or is this girl just tripping and she bugging? It was a kind of wild story. We're gonna have to see what comes with the doc. You know what I mean? Like, was Fifth just trying to hype this thing up for the ratings? Is this just the chick who's tripping, trying to ish on Meech's name? You know what I mean? Because he done used her up and went back to the fam when he got out, and she was just a side piece, or what? Someone else chimed in and had some things to say about it. Someone who's definitely an insider within the industry, who, you know, we've become pretty familiar with in the blogosphere.
Leave a stand-up dude doing his time would suddenly say, I don't want to be here no more. I'm gonna become a rat bastard. And I'm gonna have my girl tell on my mans and them. She's gonna be a third-party cooperating witness. Let me just say this to my man 50. Remember, God bless the dead, I guess, whatever, I don't give a shit. How Irv Gotti them tried to put that paperwork out on you, and Chaz had me check it out, and you said they tried to say that you snitched, went to the DA and did all that, and I found out what happened, that the DJ and the engineer told the police and the prosecutor who's all involved in everything, who's all there, and they put your name as a like you're going to be a protective witness and shit like that on the paperwork, and you ain't know nothing about it. Did y'all ever think that this girl was so much in love with Meech that she was willing to give up her body to a cop and do whatever she could do to get him out of jail? He said, I ain't got no dog in this motherfucking fight, but I want y'all to think. I'm having a good time with life, you know. I'm not worried about these wanksters. Posing to be gangsters.
By the way, you know how we get down up here, dog. I'm not with the gossip thing. You spit anything you want out here. If you want to talk about
informant,
tension, drama, whatever, just handle your business, man.
I mean, so I woke up this morning, man, because at first I didn't want to say nothing. Me and Rule, we didn't want to say nothing, but we just feel the responsibility to the people that they know who they dealing with.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all the real street niggas out there, you know
what I'm saying?
It's gotta be understood.
It must be understood, man. And what I'm holding in my hand, I'm gonna leave with you, man, is an order of protection. An order of protection for Irving Lorenzo to stay away from Curtis Jackson. That's 50, y'all.
AKA 5-0.
AKA 5-0, AKA informant, AKA I'm telling. You understand? So I just want everyone to get clear. That little incident we had at the Hit Factory, you know, he tells you about it.
A little stabbing with the butter knife.
It was a little altercation. It wasn't nothing crazy. But you know, I thought it was nothing crazy.
Hang on. The lights went out. A couple of locks in the sock, you know.
It wasn't nothing crazy.
I'm gonna pose the question. I'm gonna pose the question to you, Star. We didn't start talking.
He's about 6'5", hangs on every corner, you know, wears Spat Farm insurance.
Pete. What I'm gonna say is we didn't start talking crazy. You know, we make hit records and we get our paper. You know what I'm saying? He starts talking crazy, so we was in the same studio. We went there, and again, it was nothing big. It was just a little scuffle. It was nothing big. Yes, sir. But he felt the need, you know, to go to the cops.
And press charges.
Look, that's Irving Lorenzo.
Legal document.
That's, you know, and his docket numbers, and people out there, this isn't hatred because I'm caked up. I have no reason to hate.
Absolutely.
And also,
I keep trying to tell these niggas a hater.
These niggas is crazy.
It's not a person who's financially frustrated.
And listen, I don't want no problems.
Yeah, I'm a peaceful.
So if you listen out there, Curtis, I don't want no problems with you. You ain't gonna get no more troubles out of
Illinois, God.
You understand? I don't want no problems. My man Black Child said it the best. Who wants beef with a snitch?
Wow.
I don't want beef with a snitch because it's only gonna turn out no good.
Well, hang on. So now I'm looking at this document. It's criminal court of
This
New
is my
York.
brother Chris. That's the order of protection. And here's the police report that they filed. Look, the opponent is further informed by Mr. Jackson that as a result of the above described conduct, informant suffered lacerations. Informant, y'all.
Informant.
Wow. That's a head crack you just dropped on us, Herb.
That's real
50
talk.
Cent filed an order of protection against you and your brother.
He's a snitch.
I mean, I never went to jail. First time I ever went to jail was because we whipped his ass and he went and felt the need to inform the cops.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's pull up your skirt. Kids, we gotta interrupt the bubble.
the whole faggot thing, the sue thing. I'm gonna sue.
Damn.
You know, I'm probably getting in trouble. I'm probably making the case worse because it's still in.
Don't talk about no more.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care though. Murder Inc. is for the people.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's for the people.
Danger, man.
I didn't even know until yesterday. I didn't even know until yesterday. But one of the other dudes was Tony Yayo, I think.
Tony Mayonnaise. Tony Mayo.
Hang on, Herb, let me shut your mic off. You got a court case coming up.
Nigga took a picture with Big Boss. You like a hoe, nigga. Put your back against the wall and just slide down.
All right, so y'all heard that, man. That was Gene Deal. Obviously, Gene done been in the game, like I said, with this blogosphere-ish. A lot of people know him. He works security with Diddy. Told a lot of inside stories about Diddy, Biggie, Mace, the Bad Boy Camp, and all that. And he was speaking to Fifth, saying that this don't really add up, that Meech would be a stand-up guy and not cooperate originally, only to, after a bunch of time of doing time, decide to start ratting and trying to shave time off his sentence, that he just wasn't buying it, and that it reminded him of the situation that Fifth had with the whole order of protection, and that Fifth's name was trying to get smutted up and all that by Murder Inc., Ja Rule and all that, and that Gene even looked into it himself back then. So, this whole 50 Cent order of protection has been a thing discussed for a long time. You guys heard that clip. Irv Gotti, who just passed away again, who Fifth took no delay in getting at him as he transitioned on to the other side, to the upper room, right? He was smoking on that Irv pack. This is nothing new, right? It's been talked about forever, but you see Fifth as... Comment what y'all thought about this with the whole 50 Meech situation. Like, could it really be real? Was Fifth just trying to hype it up and thrive off the controversy to put this documentary out, or what? You know what I mean? And then we see Fifth flat out say to Gene that this is facts. He said, Gene, I know I ain't gonna say no ish like that if it ain't true. What the fuck? And I was really wondering, like, was Fifth just putting this out there like, hey, let's get some interest for this documentary. This girl has a story to tell. It could be true. It could be not. Because, again, pathetic Flacco did do a good job covering it. And it seems, like an iffy situation. I don't really know what to make of it. You take into everything all full circle. And I'm like, man, I got to see when the doc drops if there's more pertinent information and all that. And Fifth is saying, no, this is facts. I wouldn't even say nothing like that if it wasn't true. And you see also too, this Rick Ross BMF film is impossible because 50 Cent owns the film rights. It's cool though. You just say whatever you want. So him taking shots at Rose, that's another beef that will never end. Some of the Fifth beefs have end. Ja Rule, Murder Inc., Rose, those beefs ain't ever gonna end. They're serious. You know what I'm saying? There was leaked baby mom pornos and all kinds of ish. Baby mama shopping sprees involved in them beefs. It was crazy. But back to the whole situation with Fifth, that order of protection, and ain't that so crazy? How about Styron there back then, being Mr. Controversy and all that, wanting Irv and Ja to start all this drama and, caught up in countless dramaed out situations. But here he is, 2025, copyright strike and point and shoot. That is about the goofiest ish ever. That was wild, disappointing, Star. Like, you was a bitch for that. You know what I'm saying? But with the Fifth situation, it's wild because even like you see, what's his name? Bangum Smurf, right? Early affiliate with Fifth before it was even called his unit. I think it was called like Hollow Point Records or something like that. That was his right hand man. And even before Fifth, he was rocking with the Lost Boys, also from Southside Jamaica, Queens. R.I.P. Freaky Ty, right? Mr. Cheeks, Truth, man. The Lost Boys were dope, but Smurf kept it real here, right? The order of protection actually did exist. There was a case that they could put on Black Child, like Fifth will call him. Instead of Cadillac Ty and Black Child, he called him Mitsubishi Ty and Crack Child. Y'all remember that? On that Back Down joint. They put that out right before Fifth was getting ready to drop Get Rich or Die Trying, because they knew it was about to be serious. Fifth finally, got his way back into the game. He had Dre, the Aftermath, Shady Interscope Machine backing him, and Dre on the executive production of the album. And it was like, man, if Fifth blows up, this could be it for us. And that's really what it ended up being. And there was an incident and someone was arrested. And, allegedly, reportedly, Fifth really was someone listed on the temporary order of protection, but he didn't press no charges on anyone. And they kind of took that and mixed it with other paperwork to make it look official, and even put out fake federal paperwork as 50 Cent as an informant, but it was all cap. But like Smurf says here, how did he put it? Former G-Unit affiliate Bang'em Smurf shared the details of 50 Cent's alleged order of protection against Murder Inc. during an interview with Mikey T, the movie star. According to the Bang'em Smurf, the order of protection came about following an attack that led to an engineer being stabbed in the chest and Fifth and Yayo left injured. The attack was allegedly at the hands of a Murder Inc. artist, which was Black Child. They covered it on the QD3 Beef documentary and all that. And Smurf said, this took place before G-Unit was formed, and the engineer and Tony Yayo wanted to sue. So Yayo, I think, responded to this, trying to call Smurf full of ish. But you hear what Smurf said. That order of protection is, how can I put it? It's accurate. It exists. It's true. But I talked to Yayo out of not suing, because what they was going to do, they was going to sue. I think the engineer was the main dude who really got injured the most. He got stabbed in his chest. So he was the one pushing the lawsuit. So he actually pressed charges. So that's how 50 got, and Yayo got caught up in it, because Yayo got stabbed in his hand. He went and got stitches, and 50 got poked in the back. But that order of protection do exist. I had to actually talk Yayo out of it. Like, you can't be suing, dude. We from the fucking streets. And if Yayo say I'm lying, he is certified sucker. So, sometimes you could get caught up in a case, and like, they knew different people were there, and whatever the case, even though Fifth didn't legitimately press charges, from my understanding, his name really did appear on the order of protection, but it was the engineer and allegedly Yayo pushing for it all. But you hear them reading this paperwork and then adding stuff about informant and all that, and it's like they took a document and doctored it up and tried to make it a federal informant thing. And Fifth responded. He had that song on there on one of the mixtapes or something called Order of Protection. He was like, it was a publicity stunt. So it was like halfway true, halfway a lie. And I think that's kind of what Gene is saying here. Like, yo, Fifth, you're smutting up Meech's name, a guy that stood tall and did all this time, and you're believing this behind what this girl is saying. But yet this seems real similar to this situation that happened with you, that Gene's saying he firsthand looked in on, that was like partially true but doctored up and tried to be extra'd out, is what Ja and Irv and Murder Inc. camp did to try to kill 50's credibility, to try to stop him from blowing up before Get Rich or Die Try and Drop. But ultimately we know that's not what ended up happening. It was one of the most successful albums of all time, as we see now. Here we're at the 22-year anniversary. Man, I hope Fifth, after he's done with this Vegas thing and all that, and all these TV situations he's got going on, he's got the ish going down in Shreveport. I don't know if that tax credit's going to get pushed through. It seems like that senator or governor, whatever that dude is down there, is trying to play hardball. He wants his piece of the pie as they try to vote it down. And the tax credits, will it get pushed through? I think he wants Fifth, to break him off properly. Pause. Like, he ain't happy with what he wants to line his pockets, is what I think. At the end of the day, all this ish going on, I hope that Fifth ends up doing this collab album with Eminem. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that was going to happen a year ago after the Who Kid interview, but here we are now. Big Gene Deal is coming out and saying, Fifth, you're doing Meech dirty, trying to smut him up, just like they tried to do you, And again, you see how deep that beef goes, where Fifth is dissing Irv as he just passed on, and Fifth is responding and saying, nah, man, this is for real. I wouldn't be putting this out if it wasn't. So with all that being said, I want to know what y'all think about it all. You know what I'm saying? The beef from then to now, Fifth dissing Irv as he passed on, what Gene was talking about, the Meech situation. If you saw the Flock Ho video and you think that it really is official, and if Fifth is saying it definitely is, or you want to see the documentary to see further proof or what, and that order of protection and all that, you know what I mean? Like, let's chop it up about it all. It was wild, man. Like, Murder Inc. was aligned with Supreme McGriff, you know, and that's where the federal case went down. And obviously him and Fifth got a long history, and there was a lot of rumors that Murder Inc. tried to run with then, that Fifth was a secret federal informant as well. And even at times it seemed type suspect, but there was never any proof that Fifth, you know, was an informant. And at the end of the day, like I said, they tried to take that order of protection and doctor it up. And then back in 2017, 18, 19, somewhere in that time frame, they flat out dropped some fake paperwork, man, and it just wasn't a good look. So here Gene is calling Fifth out, and Fifth is saying, nah, Gene, this ish is for real. So let's discuss it all in the comments. Subscribe, stay tuned for updates. It's Coffee, and I'm up out of here, y'all. Peace.